And I just, it's hard to be here. It's hard to be in this new life without him. But for those who do not know Miles Hall or what happened to Miles Hall, he was shot and killed by Walnut Creek Police Department on June 2nd, 2019, while experiencing a mental health emergency. Our family had worked really hard to get him help when we understood that he was suffering from mental health challenges. One of the ways that we tried was we took classes with NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illness. And one thing they had mentioned was if your loved one is having mental health challenges, to make sure police know who that your loved one is. So we did that, being proactive in that. And unfortunately, Miles was killed after trying to have help with police. And so I knew right away that it was our life's work to make sure that we remove police from mental health calls because they don't belong there. Mental health is a medical emergency. It's not having police are obviously dangerous, and we want to make sure that they are not the first responders. So in our kind of work in our life that has changed dramatically from Miles's death has been so much community that has come with us, who has shown up with us, who's come to city council meetings, who have gone to board of supervisor meetings. We have NAMI, Contra Costa, Gigi Crowder has been very influential in the work we've done as well, but countless others. And we created FOSAF, Friends of Scott, Alexis, and Ton Hall. And that's been a driving force in us creating the Miles Hall Foundation, which we work really hard to make sure that police don't respond to mental health calls. So I'm going to go ahead and have Scott just say something real quick, and then if he's.
Thanks, Ton. So first, I want to thank everyone for joining, just as Ton just did. And she mentioned the foundation and all the events that we do and everything we do with the foundation is really an honor Miles, but it's really to make it so there isn't another Miles out there. We don't need anyone else getting, killed by law enforcement during a mental health emergency. So that's really just the purpose of today, and everything we do going forward is just to prevent there from being another Miles. So with that, I want to thank our board of directors. I'm Scott Hall, Miles' father, for those of you that don't know me, but I also am the chair of the board for the Miles Hall Foundation. Our daughter Alexis, she's also on the board as well. And then we have Dave Hobbs, who is our secretary. Dr. Eric Rafla-Yan has joined us recently. We have Dr. Gabriella Jones as the vice chair, Ted Angus and Kurt Reese as the treasurer, and Tony Baruti rounds out our board. So the mission of the foundation, well, the mission was created in the spirit of our son Miles. And our mission is to advocate for individuals and families impacted by mental illness, educate communities to reduce the stigma and biases surrounding mental illness, and prevent criminalization and excessive use of force by law enforcement during mental health emergencies. So as I said, that's really kind of the purpose of everything we do going forward. And obviously, as I said, the mission statement of the foundation. So again, thank you all, and I'll pass it back to Ton.
Thank you. Yes. So this truly is pain to purpose. The work we do is, like Scott said, is to honor Miles, but it's also to make sure that people who come after Miles don't have to deal with law enforcement, and don't have to deal with law enforcement when they don't need to be there, because they don't want to be there either. So let's be clear that they're not trained for this. And as we know, police are important in our society. They're not needed for people with mental health challenges who need medical care, as I explained before. And that really is the most important part of the foundation is for us is to make sure there's safe alternatives with mental health, people with mental health challenges. So some of the really great things that have happened over these last 4 years is that, for one, we couldn't have done this by ourselves, and we did not do it by ourselves. We did it with a community that stood with us, that went to the city council meetings, board of supervisor meetings, rallied in the streets, held signs in the yards. And so, it really is truly a grassroots organization. And I said this before, like when Miles got killed, there was it was like just on the news and it was off. And I was like, where is the outrage? Where is it? And it was not here in Walnut Creek, I would tell you. And I think it's just because people didn't know or didn't get enough media attention. But that's how things are. And that's why we almost like created our own like kind of Black Lives Matter movement here in Walnut Creek. So I just want to say, to all the people that are on this call today, that so many of you guys are part of this movement and part of making sure that there are safe alternatives with people with mental health challenges. So thank you so much. Some of the things that have happened over the last 4 years is 988. So that's a national number for people nationwide that anyone can call or text. Is an easy to remember phone number. So this is exciting, really, because you have another way to call, but it isn't truly life-saving as some of the work now that we've done here in Contra Costa County. Because again, with all the advocacy and knocking down the doors of board of supervisors and city council members and our legislators, is that we were able to create here in Contra Costa County. It's called A3. It's it's basically you have someone to call, somewhere to go, and someone to come. And that would have really been life-saving for Miles, because the day before Miles was in his mental health emergency, we called trying to get help and there was no resources. So now we know that there's a resource available for people in Contra Costa County. It's called the Miles Hall Crisis Hub. That's part of this. So there's someone to answer those calls and a mobile crisis unit that will go out and be dispatched to the home. So you'll have a trained professional. You also have someone who will come as a peer to assist in that mental health emergency. So that's amazing that that happened here in Contra Costa County, but it happened on the back of Miles, right? Miles' death was kind of spearheaded this movement for this pilot program. That was funded by our local tax dollars here in the county. And so it's good that this happened, because now it's even spearheaded. Now what happens now is Contra Costa County is now ahead of the whole state. Basically, it's ahead of a lot of the state, because with us demanding change, having a different alternative, we reached out to different legislators, and we reached out to Rebecca Bauer-Cahan. She's an assemblywoman in Orinda, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, what would have helped Miles?" And I said, "Well, if we had someone to come, that would have been a great help, someone who wasn't law enforcement." And then that's when she piggybacked on the 988 national number. So having this national number and this 988 really spearheaded what is here now in California, which is AB 988, Assembly Bill, the Miles Hall Lifeline Act and Suicide Prevention. And what that is that within 5 years, all 58 counties in California will now have to have a mobile crisis unit. So as I mentioned, Contra Costa is now already ahead of the game. So they're already so now it's mandated by the state. So Miles is changing basically generations of lives, saving lives. In his death, he's creating so much positive change. So I'm just really, obviously we miss Miles. We wish he was here. It's a really hard time of year for us, as you know, you guys look outside and you see the beautiful weather. Not all of you, sorry, the people that are in California, and it's like gorgeous outside. And this is about the time that Miles was killed. It was a little bit before 5:30. So it's a hard thing to imagine that something like this happened in our little quaint little neighborhood, beautiful, safe, we thought. So now there'll be safe alternatives for people throughout California. And our work is also to make sure this happens nationwide. So I just, like I said, I just want to thank you guys for being part of, a lot of you were part of the work we did to get here. And yeah. So now I'm going to just kind of talk a little bit about why we're here, why we have invited some really creative people to be part of today. But I'm going to have Alexis first kind of give you a little bit of an idea of who Miles was as a brother, and just some things that he liked to do. So Alexis, you want to go ahead? My beautiful daughter.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alexis Hall, as my mom said, Miles Hall's younger sister. We were 2 years apart and the absolute best of friends. To have known Miles is to love him. I want to again thank you guys for being here. I share the sentiment with my mother. Celebrating his 4-year Angelversary with us. He's missed every single day, but we especially feel his absence on anniversaries, birthdays, holidays. So we appreciate you being here, holding space for him today and the actual day of his death, which is on Friday. As my mom said, Miles was very passionate about art. All he ever wanted to do was follow his passion, share it with others, and help other people find their passions as well. He did this he really enjoyed cinematography. He would often go to movies and catch the latest films. He also loved gardening and was very passionate about watching his plants grow, which was super fun to do alongside with him. We now have a very large succulent garden in our backyard to honor him, and I just know how much joy that would bring him. However, he was most passionate about producing beats, making music, writing poetry, and raps. He used this art form as a way to express himself, as a therapy, and to really share his emotions in the most positive way that you could imagine. So it was super fun to listen to his new music that he would create and all of the different beats that he would produce. So as passionate and creative as Miles was, he would be very amazed to see people creating art in his honor. And his spirit lives on not only by us continuing to say his name and share his story, but also creating in his honor. So on Friday, on the day of his actual death, I do encourage everyone to listen to their favorite songs or do something creative to honor him and again, kind of share space. So lastly, I just want to thank all of the artists that submitted different pieces, and I will pass it back off to my mom to talk more about how artists are using their creativity to change the world and help end the stigma surrounding those with mental illness. So thank you all again for being here.
Great. Thank you, Alexis. Yes, Miles and Alexis definitely had a very special bond, and you never believe that I told you, but they never fought. They were like besties, but besties in the best way, that just got along so well. So thank you, Alexis. Yeah, so I don't know if many of you guys were able to see, but we had a call for artists. And as Alexis said, we did this because Miles was super creative, and we just want to do something a little different this year than rally in the streets. And we figured let's bring some positivity because Miles was super, super positive, creative. He loved people. He was so just a light. He was a light. He walked in a room, he would just brighten it up with a big old smile. And yeah, he was beautiful that way. His spirit, as Alexis says, lives on. So yeah, so we decided, let's do something different. Let's have some creative submissions. So we were able to we got several submissions, and many of them are now on our website. We have a blog that's on there, and Alexis will drop a link there for you guys if you want to check it out later. But we have about 4 different submissions that we have on there, and we were able to, the ones that we have on the website, we have King Kazam, we have Terry Johnson, we're showing Frito the artist, and Nyla Palmer. And then later today, we should also be having, we'll have a spoken word at the end, another artist that submitted something. So just want to say thank you guys. Thanks for those who submitted their piece. It's really powerful to do that in Miles' name. And also, just for breaking the stigma with mental health challenges as well. And now we have Terry Johnson, who's here today, who's gonna perform a little piece. So Terry, do you wanna come on and unmute? There he is. All right.
Hello.
Do you have a name for your name for yours?
Yeah, I go by RFT, RF.TEE.
Oh.
Trying to see if I can better angle.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Okay. I go by RFT. I really appreciate this opportunity that I've been given to perform, so I appreciate it and get to perform it, I guess. Okay.
Come closer, Terry.
Here? Here? I got to pay in my heart till he turns up. I told my girl many times that these diamonds best we don't run the shoe. That's rough to the gap, go big. I say come back and better man these shoes. Get up in the streets now, cause every time I ain't on so better. I never thought I had to. This time what I do isn't being the best, but I need something just to heal the self. I can't even tell you all of the best times. Growing up was just like the best life. ADHD don't even know the best life. I got a piece of the civic now, I want that life. I guess it's that time. They say they want the peace, but I want people just to notice me. But I got depression, so don't charge me. We just enjoy the beat, cause all my stuff is bringing on the heat. So I usually just ignore the streets. I cause a lot of pain, to be honest, I'm not the same. I try to shake it off, but just not, it won't go away. I need to find a way to make it through another day because it's pain in my chest, it won't be trying to aim, okay? A lot of trouble, they won't put me in cuffs. I try to switch up, but I end up somehow stuck in the rut. I put on the bluff, so people never question my look. I'm trying to be cool, but my heart's just in the mood, so I'm trying to be cool. I gotta know who's asking you why I'm gonna chase the fame. My cousin Mozzie ain't here, so I'm gonna say his name. I bet these people judging me for what I did today. Cause they just take a hit from the surface. My baby told me that you love me, I ain't just the one bitch, but I'm just trying to be the best. I'm just with life in your life as a kid. Okay, because we different, but someone help it. That was it.
Oh, thank you, Terry. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, so just so everybody knows, it was a little hard to hear, but we really appreciate you singing your song and rapping it, and you did a great job. It is actually on the website, you guys, so you guys can go ahead and check it out that way as well, okay? So thank you again, Terry. Say Miles' name. All right, I am going to, so another way that a lot of you guys have seen is we've done milestones. And the milestones are really powerful because anybody can be creative. Anyone can do anything, anytime, and paint something for people that you love. So it doesn't have to be about Miles. It can be anyone that you love, or maybe you've lost, or that you want to, what we've seen is people placing these throughout the community. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit what we've done as well. So not. One second. So I don't know if you guys have seen the milestones on our website, but I'm going to show you what they look like. Great. So yeah, so as we talked about being creative, anyone can do it. That's what art's about, right? Art's not, you be creative and make it fun and have a good time and it's good therapy. So I would like to now bring on Elle Wheeler. She's gonna talk a little bit about how she became involved in the foundation and has created some beautiful art. So hi, Lindsay.
Yeah,
Elle Wheeler, nice to have you here today.
nice to be here. I'm always impressed with your family's composure, but I have to say that now having to kind of talk about a very emotional piece, I really do appreciate kind of how you guys all do this so well. So first and foremost, this is the piece that I have, and it was really inspired by Miles, and I've been thinking a lot about it over the last week because for me, I'm an abstract expressionist painter, so I really use art to transmute emotions, and a lot of times it's trying to transmute kind of heavy emotions. And the one thing I love about being an artist is that through transmuting some of those heavy emotions, you always do kind of have a beautiful piece of art. And so I love to hear that, Miles loved to use art to show his emotions in a positive way, because that's really what I do. So, when I first heard of Miles, I heard it from a neighbor. I had just moved to Walnut Creek and then the pandemic hit. And I was shocked just to hear, kind of as we've touched on, that such a tragedy happened in our beautiful community. Because I know I moved to Walnut Creek from Salt Lake City, Utah. And after living in San Francisco for just 1 month, I just couldn't imagine kind of living in a city like that. And when I came to Walnut Creek kind of by chance, I was really taken aback and just felt at home here and at the community. So I was definitely shocked kind of by what had happened. But, the first thing that I heard from my neighbors was the story of Ton going to every single, city council meeting and just really, speaking for justice for Miles and wanting to create change. And I really was just taken aback and inspired by that aspect. And then over the course of the next few months, I saw Miles everywhere. I saw his picture on yard signs, and it's almost like he became my first friendly face in Walnut Creek, because I would just see him all the time. And every time I saw his smile, I really was impressed by there is a lightness to him. There's a light around him. And I just couldn't forget about him. And I definitely, would talk to people about him, and I would hear that, I live, right around Civic Park, and I would hear that he would be around here and people knew him. And then of course I would see the milestones everywhere. And there was the mental health awareness month that came up, and then all of the protests, which I took the painting to, because the way that I do is I build auras around my art so that they really have a strong resonance and speak to something. And I think, it really takes my breath away to talk about the story. And I think what ultimately one of the final layers of the painting was to put it in this kind of, I don't know if it comes through as well on the screen, but it's kind of a teal color. And teal is really representative of both the heart chakra and the throat chakra. And I do feel that this piece has this triumphant energy of how unconditional love, the unconditional love of a sister, of a mother, and of a father can triumph over kind of the brutal tragedy that really is the story of his last days. And so, I continue to be inspired by Miles. I will never forget Miles. The process I'm going to cry, but just the process of creating this piece and considering Miles and considering the story and engaging with his energies, it really healed a deeply wounded part of myself. I have lost somebody too early through different circumstances, but there was a mental health component there. And I just feel really blessed to be here and to, be engaged with this community. And I'm just so inspired by Miles. And I hope that, this artwork and through the years to come, like I said, I'll never forget Miles. He's become a deeply instrumental person on my journey as an artist, as a human. I became a mother in 2021, which, definitely, puts a different spin on it. And so, I think art really does have the power for us to transmute those deeply, sorrowful, painful experiences and really turn it into compassion and unconditional love. And that's, I think really what this piece speaks to.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lindsay. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's amazing and gorgeous. Alexis has one of the prints in her room. So it's very special. And thank you again for thinking of Miles and also just bringing it to us. It's quite a powerful piece, as you said. And Alexis is going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat. Lindsay has also agreed that we have prints that are going to be available that she's signed by her that are available. So if someone's interested and wants to make a donation over $125, that all the proceeds go to the foundation, and you get a signed art piece by Lindsay. So thank you. It's very, very special. As you can see, she took it to a couple of protests. Check out also the blog because it shows the her having the painting in action at one of the rallies. So
Yes.
it's really powerful. So thank you again,
Thank you.
Wheeler. We really appreciate you so much, and you said it so well. So from the heart, and that's what this community has really done for us is really the heart, and that's when we lead with love, we can move mountains. So in Miles's name. So So thank you again.
Thank you for, receiving this in the vibration that it was meant to be received. I know took me about a year to reach out because I was just nervous about
Oh,
being respectful and, as an artist,
Yeah.
and sometimes
thank
people
you.
are eccentric. So thank you. I love
Yeah,
that
we love it.
space for artists.
Yeah, thank you. And then also just a special, thanks to Patty Mitchell, who worked closely with Lindsay, getting the prints created and signed and finding the right vendor to do the print. So thank you again, Lindsay, and also to Patty Mitchell. All right, so now I'm gonna bring in Dr. Gabrielle Jones. She is our vice board chair to talk about our next segment of our program to honor our beautiful son Miles Call.
Thank you, Ton.
Yeah.
So as we mentioned, this event is really to honor Miles, but it's also to raise awareness for severe mental illness. And so one of the beautiful things that we can glean from Miles's legacy is his ability to express himself through art. And Elle did a wonderful job. Thank you, Elle, for sharing your experience and your journey, because art is a very valuable and critical way in which people who have mental illness and severe mental illness can express themselves. And specifically in minoritized and marginalized populations in the Black community, we've always used art in a way that's deeper than expression, but it's a part of life, whether it be through music or through paintings or through dance or through spoken word. There are various ways in which we as a community have used art to put our pain into purpose and to also express ourselves in a way that words just can't reach.
Yeah.
And so I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Tanya Herrero, who is the owner and supervising art therapist of East Bay Art Therapy. And Tanya is going to talk about the work that they do, but I do want to just highlight that in addition to therapy, it's really important if someone you know or someone or yourself are dealing with severe mental illness that you also consider medication in conjunction with therapy, because that actually is really effective in mitigating some of the symptoms. And if you get the right medication coupled with the right type of therapy, whether it be art therapy, talk therapy, or another form of therapy, you can really get a long way. So the next part of our program is going to talk a little bit more about the therapeutic side. With that said, Tanya, would you like to tell us a little bit about your organization?
Do I have the ability to share my screen, or can I have the ability to share my screen?
Yeah, you should be able to just.
I should be able to. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name's Tonya Herrero. I am the owner of East Bay Art Therapy. I'm just gonna.
There you go.
Can you see it? Let me go into presentation mode so you don't see my messy desktop. So I'm the owner of East Bay Art Therapy. We are a creative arts therapy group practice based in Oakland, but we work all over the whole San Francisco Bay Area providing art therapy, but now we are moving into the realm of other creative arts modalities such as drama therapy, and I am in the process of hiring a music therapist. But we started off just art therapy. I am a licensed and board certified art therapist, and I supervise our team that you'll get to meet, not in person, but pictures. I'm going to talk a little bit about what art therapy is and how it works, and share a little bit more about what we offer and how you can access art therapy services. So I love this cartoon. This is how I often feel when I do art, like my head is just a tangled mess, and it's like a big breath out when you're able to express yourself creatively. So this is a lot of text. This won't feel like a class, but art therapy is a form of mental health therapy that is an integrative approach to healing that helps clients connect their mind, body, and spirit using visual arts processes. Creative arts therapy is a more broad term for other modalities such as dance, movement therapy, drama therapy, and music therapy. Art therapy enriches the lives of individuals, families, and communities through active art making and the creative process integrated with psychological theories and interventions. So art therapists are master's level mental health clinicians with educational background in both psychology and studio arts. A typical art therapy session or group is not just art making like a class, but it involves verbal therapy as well. So we usually start off with a verbal check-in followed by art making directive, which might be focused on a certain theme or coping mechanism or art material that has certain therapeutic benefits. And then we always conclude sessions or groups with reflection, sometimes journaling, and then verbal processing of the art. With individual sessions, some might feel more like talk therapy and some might feel more focused on the creative process. Art therapists can provide clients with a specific directive or prompt based on what they're going through or the symptoms they're experiencing or whatever feelings or traumas they're processing, experiences they're processing. But clients can also come in and advocate for themselves and say, I want to use clay today. And it's not like an art class where you have to follow the rules of how to make art. So the other thing is anyone can engage in art therapy. You do not have to have art skills or be talented in art, whatever that means. And art therapy provides an avenue of psychotherapy for clients to explore and express feelings and experiences that may not be accessible in words, which is especially useful for individuals that may not feel safe in or have had traumatic experiences within the healthcare system or in traditional talk therapy. This can be especially true for marginalized folks. I have a lot of clients of color and especially Black clients that have had really traumatic experiences in 5150 situations where police are called, being treated poorly by mental health professionals at hospitals and things like that. And also just feel that sometimes the traditional talk therapy environment of the couch and the chair and that dynamic can feel intimidating and also reinforce a power dynamic that can be diminished when I'm just sitting at a table and we're with the clients and we're both just getting messy and making art together. So some modalities we use: drawing, painting, clay, collage, mixed media, sculpture with found objects, sewing, digital art, photography. And there is the American Art Therapy Association. Their website is arttherapy.org, and you can learn more about art therapy there or find an art therapist that way. I like this little graphic about the difference between art therapy and an art class. Art therapy is really about self-expression. It's a confidential space. It involves a therapeutic relationship, and it's focused on the process, not like in an art class where you're going to be critiqued or told what you can do to make your artwork better. There's none of that in art therapy. It's really just about expressing yourself and processing who you are, building self-esteem and self-confidence in the process. And the treatment is really tailored to the psychological needs of the client. These are just some examples. I can't show client artwork because of HIPAA confidentiality, but these are some examples I've created of some of the different projects we might do in an art therapy session. And I will keep going. So this is a list of some of the issues that we specifically work with at our practice, and I'll tell you more about our team. But I have 6 therapists on my team, 7 including myself. I do see clients as well. And we work with a variety of mental health issues, and our therapists have different specialties. I do have a new therapist who just started who has experience of working at Napa State Psychiatric Hospital for 6 years. And so she really specializes in psychosis, schizophrenia, bipolar disorders with psychosis, and some of the more severe mental health concerns. We work a lot with trauma, anxiety, depression, substance abuse. neurodivergent individuals, body image issues or eating disorders, grief, personality disorders, life transitions, the LGBTQIA plus population, etc. So, whoops. Where you can find us, we are not just a private practice in Oakland. We also have contracts with different government agencies, organizations, hospitals, and treatment centers around the Bay Area. So we have a contract with Alameda County Office of Education. We did some work with the employees of the Oakland Zoo. We have a contract with Eastside Union High School District in San Jose, and also Santa Clara County Office of Education, Evolve Treatment Centers for teens, affordable housing for seniors. I do some work myself in the Oakland Unified School District schools. And we also have 2 therapists at Mills Peninsula Psychiatric Hospital in San Mateo for acute inpatient psych for the adolescent unit currently, but we're hoping to grow into the adult unit as well. At our Oakland office, we offer individual art therapy for children and adults of all genders, ages 5 and up. And then we also do girls groups for middle school, high school, and then a young women's group. This is some of our staff who work at our Oakland office, and some other off-site contracts. And we are hiring a music therapist as well to work at Sutter, which will expand our creative arts modalities as well. And yeah, our website's East Bay Art Therapy. And of course, if we can't help you, we will direct you to a resource where you can get the help you need. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Appreciate it. Looks like you guys are doing some really amazing work. So it's amazing to have you here. So we appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. So now I'm going to go ahead and introduce, we have Tamara Hunter from Connections House, who's going to just talk a little bit more about art and what they're doing at their clubhouse. Tamara.
Thank you, Ton. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I'm very happy to be joining you from Connections House in Concord. We just finished our very popular Wednesday Expressive Arts Evening program. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today to celebrate the life and legacy of Miles Hall. Again, my name is Tamara Hunter. I'm the Executive Director of Mental Health Connections, which operates the program here in Concord, Connection House. We are a community-based social and vocational program for individuals experiencing severe and persistent mental illnesses. At Connections House, we provide a restorative environment for people whose lives have been disrupted because of their illness and who need the support of others who are in recovery and who believe that mental illness is treatable. We very much appreciate and incorporate art and music and creativity in our community. We know how important it is as a part of what we do, and that our communities, that this needs to be a part of what we do to help create change in the world and to help end stigma that surrounds those with mental illness. Just a few weeks ago, we were at Todos Santos, where art was a very big part of what we did with the community, including music. At Connections House, we've created this very important environment for our members since its inception in 2008. Programming at the clubhouse includes several creative outlets, including a state-of-the-art media studio that includes producing podcasts, video production, and photography that's integrated in our day-to-day programming. Actual creative arts, we have a art wall of really awesome pieces that have been created by our members. And we have a live band every week that play tonight. They call themselves the Clubhouse Rockers, and they write and compose their own music and perform out in the community. So several members play several different kinds of instruments. We have found that the arts play a very important role in self-expression, creative outlets, and stigma reduction. Connections House is all about creating this community. And we believe that connecting to a community is not only a basic human need, but it's a prerequisite for mental health and wellness. If you would ever like to come tour and find out about Connections House and more about our programming, as well as the peer connection centers that are in Antioch, San Pablo, and another Concord site, we would love to have you tour our facility, and I'll put our contact information in the chat. My heart goes out to the Miles Hall family. We are grateful to all the amazing work that you've been doing, to the advocacy work, and all of the change that's being made because of you. I can't imagine how painful it is for you all to, come together and share your story with us. We'll always remember and honor Miles Hall, and we send you our love to you on this Angelversary, and we will always say his name, Miles Hall.
Aw, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tamara. I really appreciate it. And also, I just appreciate you guys also, you've been a sponsor of ours as well, and, the turkey trots. And so, it really is about our community partners and making connections because we're so much stronger together. So thank you. What you said was perfect. And it's really is a great resource. I've been there, I've taken a tour, I hung out there for a little bit. So it was really nice. So yeah, thank you again. And then also I would like to introduce Gigi Crowder. I'm going to have her speak a little bit about NAMI. A lot of people might know NAMI, but what they're doing in Contra Costa is a little bit different. So Gigi, are you available?
Yes, thanks, Ton.
Yeah.
Today is a little more difficult because I'm still, the grief cycle you get. Saw a lot of positive things happening, but then you get angry because we all know that Miles should still be here and breathing. And because you have an organization, Beats, Rhymes, and Life here, and Rob, who will speak later, knows that that was the very first time I got in trouble in Alameda County. I mean, I got in trouble many times after that, but it was because I found a program that I knew could work for the individuals that I was trying to improve outcomes for, and it was Beats, Rhymes, and Life. And I just think about if Miles had such a program that he could go to that would have offered some hope. So, and he could have healed in a way that was more culturally responsive and community defined. He would have been around other young people who might have had a struggle with mental health, but despite that, they are still great and was put on earth for purpose. So at NAMI, that's what we really do. At NAMI Contra Costa County, we meet a person where they're at, and we try and make sure we're connecting them to purpose. So 100% of our staff have lived experience either personally or as a family member. And so Ton coming to get support through one of our signature programs, Family to Family. At that time, we used to tell family members to make sure they connected with their local police department, but I think we were failing to realize the impact that racism has on how police officers do their day-to-day work. So we should have probably included and make sure he is loved by a full community of individuals who some look like you, but he happens to be African-American, but he's loved just as much as your I'm just going to say it, your white child. So keep your damn hands off of him. Don't do anything to harm him. That's what we now say when people take our NAMI signature programs, we remind communities of colors how important it is for us to not ignore the fact that there is racial bias. And Miles has saved so many lives in this county. The advocacy work that his family with supporters have done has pretty much shaped my career after that. Nothing was the same again and will never be the same again, because it's about making sure it doesn't happen again. And so NAMI CC, where we offer resources and support for family members, have upped our game around making sure we're much more culturally reflective and supportive, and that we're using tools like prayer, things that tend to work for some communities that we won't ignore, that's frowned upon sometimes when you're in this mental health space. But Miles has completely shaped Miles, Angelo, Tyrell, and Mr. Vladimir Abaleta have completely shaped the way we do work now, reminding people how important it is to see individuals and to advocate. So I'm just happy I was a part of being that journey. And the only regret I have is that I didn't get an opportunity to meet Miles, because had I, we probably would have been even more aggressive with our efforts to improve outcomes for all those impacted by mental illness. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And we always end with say his name, Miles Hall. Thank you.
Miles Hall. Thank you so much, Gigi, and thank you for being such a fearless leader and guiding us and being a great mentor. So thank you.
So the next person we have, Gigi gave a beautiful introduction already for Beats, Rhymes, and Life for Rob Jackson. But again, just really honoring and respecting the various forms of art that can be used for mental health and mental wellness. Kendrick Lamar does a really good job of weaving in a lot of his pain and the things that he experienced into his music. And Rob Jackson has done a beautiful job of working this organization in a way that really allows youth to express themselves in the most authentic way possible. So with that said, Rob, do you want to unmute yourself and introduce Beats, Rhymes, and Life?
Hey, can
Hello.
everyone hear me? Awesome. Hi, Ton.
Hi,
Thank
thanks for
you.
being on.
Yeah, thank you for the invite. And certainly our thoughts and prayers are with you and the entire Hall family right now.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't shout you out, Gigi. Gigi was in the trenches with us, y'all. Like she was there at the beginnings, when Beast Rhymes and Life was still a thought and a program. Real quick, Beats, Rhymes, and Life, we are the first organization, first nonprofit in the world dedicated to the cultivation, practice, and preservation of hip hop therapy. We partner social workers with teaching artists and peer specialists to do group therapy and individual therapy for youth ages 12 to 26. I'm gonna actually show you a video. This video was completely done by our young people. One of the things that we focus on is being youth-centered. And I think, not only had Miles had the opportunity to participate in a program like this and make his impact as an artist, I also think of how that creativity could have been expanded into a professional career, where Miles was able to influence and impact other young people who are dealing with some of the same circumstances, the same mental health challenges. So that's what we try to do at Beats, Rhymes, and Life. Not just, well, I shouldn't say not just, we're all about service and we're all about offering our program to young people. But we're also interested in helping these young people become providers, become peer specialists. We know that, as mentioned before, traditional talk therapy isn't always effective, in particular for Black and Brown youth. So imagine if we flip the paradigm to where the providers looked like the people they were serving. They were of the same age. the same experiences, lived experiences. But, you know, with the game of, you know, being able to really operate as a clinician, as a skilled artist and professional. Shout out to my friend Corey, who's on here, who's also works with Beach Rounds in Life. I see you, Corey. Thank you. So I want to get into the video. And I just posed this question before I get into it. You know, the chorus is, I'm trying to live my life with a clear vision. And so I ask all of you to reflect, what would have happened if Miles got to the opportunity to live his life with a clear vision?
I'm just trying to live my life with a clear vision. Trying to figure out my path, it's the way of living. I done did a lot of wrong, but I hope I'm forgiven. Cause I'm just trying to move on to the things that I'm missing. I'm just trying to live my life with a clear vision. Trying to figure out my path, it's the way of living. I done did a lot of wrong, but I hope I'm forgiven. Cause I'm just trying to move on to the things that I'm missing.
2023, this my Jordan year. Georgia from the block, from the bottom to the top. I stay rooted in my city. And like a candle, yeah, I'm lit to infinity. Beautiful butterfly, I glide with grace, dignity, and serenity. Ancestors hear me. Indigo child, yeah, I'm claiming my identity. Listen attentively, let me speak my mind. Divine vibes in the sky, déjame te digo. Yo hablo con mi espíritu, straight from the town, so my lingo sound differently. Straight from Mexico, you can hear the accent in me. Don't get offended if I call you bruh unintentionally. I seen it firsthand, police got no pity. School pipeline and police brutality. Racist cops receiving zero time and the legality. I really can't believe this is our reality. We really gotta build our community. Cuando hablo con mi corazón, I'm vision clear, wake up in the morning, yeah, I just gotta thank God, yeah, I just gotta thank God.
Yeah, kick back, take a break, keep my head in the clouds. Vision getting so clear, but my thoughts can get loud. That's why I take my time and keep my feet on the ground. Yeah, I keep my feet on the ground.
I need a clear vision, so I gotta keep my eyes open. We all go through things, but I got a different way of coping. And I might just be sad, but I can't be moping. And I'm a go-getter, not just sitting back and hoping. I've been working hard just to make my dream come true. Go ahead and talk yo, if you know that's you, and I know that's me. One day we gon' see. All it took was faith and just a little belief. I was down on the ground, had to get on my feet. That was my first job, and now my mission complete. Life was a little sour, now it tastes so sweet. So good that I even thought that life was a treat. I'm just trying to live life with no limitations, and end on the high note like the Temptations. And my lyrics will live on for generations, cause you looking at the dopest artists in the making.
Linguistically inclined, artistically designed, got my passions all aligned. No fear, staying clear, in order, no sorter. Finding my way, no need to stray from this beautiful day. Don't forget to say hey, cause out player, you're one true player. I'll lay you out and display it. No foul player here, say cause I'll outweigh you. Yeah. Ain't got that sticky icky, but feeling so picky, tricky, moving like I'm sticky Ricky. Catch me in those pretty flickies on your screen. No longer a team, so no need to wean, but watch out for my clean, pristine, cause I'ma be the best you ever seen. Yeah, the best you ever seen.
Feel right, future about to be bright. I got the light and shine, I've been on my grind. Cause I got no time, been hustling, making dimes. In my prime, at the age of 22. Feeling very true, what I'm supposed to do. While chilling with my crew, I'ma be me. Through and through, I'll pursue a life of love and rise above the hate to create a bright fate. It's not too late to reshape your life. Ain't always gonna be P's and Q's. One day you won't need a co-signer. I can imagine you dripped in designer. You like the finer things in life. That's why it's worth the fight to one day feel the light of life.
With a vision, call it visionary, driven, feeling really scary, but I keep it moving, keep the light on.
liberation, feeling necessary, knocking demons on a daily. So I pray to God to be my light source. Show me the right course, make us a light source. Organize and make a way, light up our own torch. Distribute resource so we can rejoice. Healing one another, sister, brother, only human. You my mother, auntie, uncle, grandpa, elder. Unity, how we recover, enemy will not destroy us.
Ghost written by my alter ego. Bugs always watching. Parasitic mind state try to hold me hostage. Worst game you could have played with the skill of season Popovich. Try too hard, your brain might stop it. Tree get too tall, city might chop it. They show the people how the power work, but never how to change. Blind to demands, louder than mama arthritis pain. Who gon' be the wedge in the system? The battle of the brains. Let's take it back to resistance, the fight for power exchange. Yay area, the government to blame. Who overcame? Overcome with the feeling of disdain. Unworthy of respect or unworthy of neglect. Would you believe me if I told you the devil used to draw in my notebook? Silent assassin, I might hit him with a no look. Untelevised and raw, unhinged, I got mud on my paw. Wait, I said I binge in my notebook at dusk. Wait, I said I binge in my notebook at dusk.
Yeah. Young visionary, I'm Capricorn, but they say my vision Aries. Word to ride mob, will describe a BR. L tell the team, you could go and tell the kiosk. Flow so cold, we about to have a ski off. Style holder one, if you wanna come and tee off. Put you in your place, got me feeling like a Nima. Drip on natural, you can call it
I'm just trying to live my life with a clear vision. Trying to figure out my path, it's the way of living. I done did a lot of wrong, but I hope I'm forgiven. Cause I'm just trying to move on to the things that I'm missing. I'm just trying to live my life with a clear vision. Trying to figure out my path, it's the way of living. I done did a lot of wrong, but I hope I'm forgiven. Cause I'm just trying to move on to the things that I'm missing.
That was
Yeah,
beautiful. Thank you,
I
Rob. So
know.
powerful.
Absolutely. So I'm putting my social media or the org social media in the chat. So please, everyone, I encourage you to tap in if you know young people like Miles, who, you know, can really use a safe place to express themselves and grow. Please send them our way. And thank you again, Tom, for the opportunity.
Thank you. Yes, I just want to thanks, to all the people who spoke, like Rob and Tonya and Lindsay. Just thank you guys for taking time out of everybody, but for taking time out of your busy day. I know, Rob, it was a little challenging with your schedule. So, thanks for making that work and making this a priority. It really means a lot to our family. But I talked to Rob and I was like, and I called him, I was like, Miles was like, I was looking for something for Miles. And I came across this before Miles was killed. Because again, trying to be proactive, trying to find resources for him. So it's crazy to be here, that he's not here with us, and you're here and he's not. That's obviously very painful, because we know what, like you said, Miles could be part of this collective and the work you guys are doing. But now he's in heaven and he's orchestrating us all. And he's been making connections, with Lindsay, making connections with Patty and people I've never met before. So, it's beautiful. There's just so much community here. So I just want to just take and hold space for you guys, because we wouldn't be here without the fight with you guys. So thank you so much. It just means, a ton. So thank you. Sorry. So now we're going to give a little bit of time for some questions and answers. I don't know if anyone has any Q&A, has any questions for us, for any of the presenters that spoke, or for our family. So if so, you want to raise your hand and then we can see how many people have questions or comments. And if there's a comment, you can always, we're seeing beautiful, beautiful, so many amazing things in the chat. So thank you guys for acknowledging Miles and, just the love that we have here and the love that Miles has created in his death. So thank you. And I see we'll go ahead and take it from Desiree has a question or a hand up.
Hi, this has just been wonderful.
It's been wonderful. And you said he's not here, but his spirit transcends more than just a natural feeling.
Right.
You know, because I'm sitting here like, wow. And we all know it was something that was tragic, but look what the word says, what Satan made for bad, God made for good. And my grandson, I'm sitting here, I'm going to send my grandson. I don't have to wait till there's a situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That is just, all of this has just been wonderful. I love you. I took off today. I am here. I thank you. I thank all the presenters. And I'm not on camera. I'm telling you, you want to laugh, you want to cry. God bless you guys.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you, Desi. Appreciate you. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? We have some time for you guys if there's anything that you want to ask about or. Oh, yes, Gigi.
How do we get BRL to Contra Costa County? Because it's needed. So we need to get, Rob, you go to San Francisco, so you cross the bridge, you willing to come through the tunnel?
Yeah, no, we just needed the right person in place, so we know you're gonna be the connector. I did want to say too, Tom, it's amazing that you all advocated for a mobile crisis unit countywide. That's so huge. And one thing I should say too is we have a mobile studio bus now. So for the young people who don't have access to us or for transportation reasons or whatever, we can now come to them. But yeah, we'll bring the mobile studio bus to Contra Costa. That's a no-brainer.
This is amazing. This is, I know, like my mom just said, Miles loves this. So he's in heaven, just like smiling down, you know, this is amazing. So yeah, thank you. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Gigi, for asking that question. Hey, Doug. Good to see you on here.
Thank you, Tom. It's of advocacy. I'm going to bring up an advocacy issue that we at the NAMI Mental Health Criminal Justice Advisory Committee are looking at carefully and see how you'd want to join in this effort. And that is the fact, Judy knows the issue probably even better than I do. The term excited delirium, where police officers often blame Black and Latinx males for their mental illness, and therefore they use that to justify their killings of these individuals. In this county, the coroners and the sheriff's office are one. In 56 of the other 56 of 58 California counties, that office is separate. From my own research, I'm very aware that the term excited delirium is deeply embedded with a lot of police officers throughout Contra Costa County, here in Antioch, California, and throughout the nation. And this issue is not going to go away, even though the fact that the American Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, says this is scientific bunk. So does the International Classification of Diseases, Behavioral Disorders sections. A lot of reputable police organizations, as well as medical organizations, debunk excited delirium. But it's not going to get debunked at the ground level until, for example, the coroner's office and the sheriff's office functions get separated. That's the next big issue in this county. So I'm just raising it for everyone's concern, and for the Miles Hall Foundation. That's an issue that NAMI's looking to hopefully take on here soon.
Thank you so much, Doug. And yeah, we definitely want to hold space for Angela Quinto's family, who's on this call as well. And so, excited delirium is real, and it's not real, but you know what I mean? It's affecting lives, and the Quinto family is making a lot of changes in that kind kind of arena. So thank you, Doug. Okay, we'll take one last question from Denise. Hi, Denise.
Hi, how's everyone?
Good. Oh, is this Miss Friday?
Yes.
Hey, Miss Friday.
Hi. Hey,
Hey.
Miss Tran and everyone and Gigi. I'm just so excited about all the beautiful work that you guys are doing and the time and the effort you put in. You know, my son was Kobe Friday, and we do a lot also, and we have to try to change the way things are and to change the way children have education. And I just wanted to thank you guys because we don't never know when someone's depressed or when they have trauma or if they have some type of disorder or if they're just feeling suicidal. You never know. But because you put out those resources, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate it. And I want to say I appreciate you. And I love the art and the rap song, yeah. Because my son, he also was a rap artist, and I have a lot of his material. So that just lets me know that that's art too, and I need to like do something to get it out. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And
Thank you.
You're part of my Justice family, so I appreciate your support too today.
Oh, no problem. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Okay,
Love
thank you.
everyone.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I just wanted to thank everyone again for being here tonight. I really want to thank our board of directors, our leadership, Scott, obviously my husband Scott, and my beautiful daughter Alexis, because as you can imagine, this is not easy work for them to do. Dave Hobbs, Dr. Eric Raflayan, Dr. Gabrielle Jones, Ted Angus, Kurt Reese, and Tony Baruti. And I just wanted to also just give a really big thanks out to Patty Mitchell, our communications lead, for all her hard work on this event and all just that she's done for the foundation. She's done so much behind the scenes, a lot of social media things you see, blog postings. I mean, it goes on and on. So thank you, Patty, for your dedicated work, tireless work on the calls with me at 8 o'clock at night. So thank you. Also, just to thank you, Penny Terry, for creating beautiful websites and just all her hard work from the beginning on that. So thank you. We couldn't have done this all without our legislative committee, Catherine Durham-Hammer, Joshua Farah, Haley Ayers, Gigi Crowder, Sophie Badka, Cree Campbell-Sheen, and many, many others. Thank you to Dr. Heather Fontanolia for leading our education efforts and bringing us connections with Mount Diablo School District. Thank you, Alana Samuels, Adam Kumaneben, Pam Dawkins, Abby Case, Dina Mirapakusha, and thank you to Barbara Pennington, who's the Chief of Staff and helping with day-to-day operations, with bylaws and anything else we need. Also, thank you to our original FOSAF leaders, Rachel Grant, Shiama Clooney, Vivian McHenry, Carly Mingus-Hurt, Glenn and Chelsea Wexler, Dan Romer, Ogie Shogas, Hattie Tate, Dean and Lisa Chivo, Laura Halpin, and Kit Didion, and also to Raj Tawar and to Gabby Bondi with fundraising. I just can't thank you all enough for being on the call tonight. Also to everyone that called and to the Board of Supervisors, attended city council meetings, rallied in the streets, got involved, pushed, made lawn signs, or bought a ribbon or got a ribbon in their yard, bought a shirt or a mask, volunteered at one of our events, donated an item at our auction. And as you know, we do have an auction, so we still need more items for that. Donated funds, purchased a brick at our Remembrance Park. Also, thank you to all my new Justice families who have supported our cause. We will always save your loved ones' names along with Miles. It truly takes a village. As you know, Miles had so many dreams for his future. And while he isn't here in his death, while he isn't here, his death will never be in vain. And I know he is already saving generations of lives. So I just want to thank you all for being here. Addie, I know you had your hand up. Did you, of course, we want to acknowledge Stephen Taylor, but did you want to say something?
Yes, I just wanted to tell you, I am so amazed at the work that you're doing. Thank you so much. I love you, and
love you too.
I'm standing with you, you know that.
Always, always. This is my justice family. So that's what I'm saying. And Miles's death, we've created quite a few amazing people who are now part of our family, part of our community, part of our friends. You know, I even have Juan Siegler, who was Miles's, he was an investigator for birth. You know, I mean, he's part of the crew. You know, he was over painting rocks one day at Nancy Harrington's. I mean, these are new friends, new family. So it truly takes a village. But now I would like to introduce you to Tiffany James, who's going to end our program tonight. So Tiffany, you want to go ahead and talk to us, speak to us, love us?
Hi, everyone. It's been truly amazing. I just want to say thank you, Ton, and just thank you to the Miles family. I mean, the whole family. I mean, I know this is not easy. I was just sitting here thinking of how you have fought, you and your family have fought, and you guys are advocating for so many other sons and daughters. But this is not easy because with every fight, it's a reminder that Miles is not here. And with every fight, it brings emotions up for you and your family. And so I pray that this piece that I wrote, that it's a way to hold space for you and your family as you have advocated for others. And the way I found out about Miles, I don't even know if you know this, Ton, but I had a young lady who was actually having a mental health crisis, and she was in Martinez. She was admitted into Martinez Hospital. And I was going to visit Wanda for the first time. I was getting to know her, and I saw Miles's picture in her yard. And when I began to tell her about this young lady and how her mother was just really struggling, she didn't have any resources, and she began to just tell me everything about Miles' story. And then she told me he was your son, and I had just met you at an event, and my heart just broke. And so when you asked me to write this piece, I just really thought about just the work that you and your family are doing, but just also how hard it must be with every fight, and just learning about the foundation, just taking little pieces from there is how I wrote this piece. So I'm actually going to, at the end, when I say his name, since we're ending, if we can take ourselves off speaker or either drop it in the chat and say Miles' name. And I think that would be a good way to honor him. And I just want to say thank you. And I wish I would have met Miles.
Thank you. Yes. And we'll say Miles' name and then also the names of the others that have gone before us, you know, have gone too early. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Losing a child, whether by natural causes, suicide, or to a senseless and preventable crime, it leaves behind a pain that not even the strongest person, especially a parent, can accurately describe. And turning that pain into purpose might be one of the hardest challenges a parent must face. But you must know that your loss has a listener, your sorrow has a song, your tears have a testimony, and yes, your pain has a purpose. Your pain is more powerful than you know. It is the protest that commands law enforcement to serve and protect those who are battling mental health. It is the voice that creates policies that work towards eliminating these type of inequalities. Your pain is the urgency of action to raise awareness concerning mental health in every community. Your pain is the legs that stand against the senseless violence, run against the broken system, and sit in solidarity with activists working towards change. Your pain has arms that can reach out and link arms with another mother, father, sister, or brother, or any other who is experiencing the same pain in their heart. Your pain has a purpose deep within, where forgiveness becomes the fragrance of freedom and the attribute of the strong. Your pain has a God who hears, who will stand with you, fight for you, hold you, comfort you, all while strengthening you. Please know that your pain may never have a full understanding of the why. And although your life will never be the same, do not allow your pain to use you, but instead continue to find the strength to use your pain so that your loved one's life will never be in vain. For it is the pain that has become the purpose that will never allow the world to forget their name. So today, through this purpose, we call out and remember your name, Miles Hall. Through this purpose, we call out and remember his name. Say it with me. Miles Hall.
Miles Hall.
Miles
Miles
Hall.
Miles Hall.
Miles Hall.
Miles Hall.
Miles Hall.
Miles Hall.
Miles Hall.
Miles Hall.
Miles Hall.
Miles Hall.
Miles Miles Hall.
Hall. Miles Hall.
Miles Hall.
Miles Hall.
Thank you.
Miles Hall.
Thank you. We will never forget your infectious smile, your creative spirit, and your courageous journey. Your name may be written in stone, but who you are to us will forever be written upon our hearts. We will always remember and call out your name. And through this purpose, we call out the names of all those gone too soon. We won't forget your name. Thank you.
Thank you. That was powerful, as always, Tiffany. Thank you so much. That was a really great way to close this. And it's hard to say it's an event, you know, because this is our real life. This is our family. You know, we have real loss, and it's hard to do this. It's hard to be in this life sometimes, but like, you know, we say it's community and people like you guys surrounding us, and also just realizing it's not just about us either, right? There's systemic problems that we're faced with, and that's really the goals of the foundation, is to make sure that we break down the systemic problems and racism. I know it's time to go, so whoever needs to hop off, I just have a couple more announcements. We are having our Play for Miles weekend, our Play for Miles fundraiser. September 8th is our poker party. September 15th is our golf tournament. We are still looking for sponsors, so we still have sponsorships available. Those spots are still available for you to play poker or play golf. Last year, they both sold out. So if you would like to come, I would suggest getting your tickets early, because it will sell out again. So it's, you know, it's definitely, no, that's going to happen. Also, we are having a youth summit. That's going to be on November 4th. And that's going to be with Mount Diablo School District. We are the host, but it's going to be Mount Diablo School District. We're also partnering with Diablo Valley College, the local community college. They're going to be providing space and for us as well. So really, again, community is what this foundation is based on. Can't do this alone. So please, you know, if you guys work for certain companies, ask your companies to match or donate. We are a 501c3, and all our donations are tax deductible. And then don't forget that we have the beautiful prints. I've seen a couple of people buy some already, so thank you so much. So that's an extra bonus, you know, if you get a signed print. If you make a $125 donation, you get a signed print by Lindsay Wheeler. So thank you again, and say his name, but let's say all the others that are out there. I'll share space for this time now. Whoever would like to hop off, please do. But we'll go ahead, and I know we have Angela Quinto, we have Oscar Grant, we have Colby Friday. So come on, start saying the names, you guys.
Oscar
Alan.
Grant.
Angela
We have Alan Bluford,
Angela
Quinto.
Angela
Quinto.
Quinto.
Colby.
Oscar Grant.
Breonna Taylor.
Oscar Grant. Angela Quinto.
Stephen
Taylor.
Angelo Quinto.
Family. Junior.
Latimer.
Angelo Quinto.
Colby Friday.
Colby
Friday.
Herman Vincent Valenzuela Jr., my nephew.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Nathaniel Pickett.
Yeah. So the list will go on and on. So
Yes.
the space is yours if you.
Augie Gonzalez.
Andrew Bland.
Tyra Nichols. All right. Well, thank you guys again for sharing this space with us, for being on this call. Also, thanks again, just for all of you guys being here and taking time out of your busy schedules. So thank you again and have a great night. Say his name, Miles Hall.
Miles Hall. Miles Hall.